Ah! Did it dump it? It did. Oh, wow. Where did it leave me? Alright, no green. Welcome back. I did a short intro today, and allegedly, it's a lot shorter, as far as I can tell, so we'll throw that. AfterHours, welcome back. Here are... Is that zoomed in? Okay, it is. Here are the culprits. Boy, I don't know. I don't know which way we're going to be able to do this. Let's kick it. F4 ISO. I hate auto settings on cameras. Anyhow. You know what? Let's do that. Ha! Alright, we'll turn the light off. That way it's not blinded. You don't need a light for everything. So we've got the option of 3 things today. I thought my friend was going to be here to talk, but like on a remote call. He may still show up, may not. This one, we've got a bad hard drive. The heads are bad in it. I don't have a compatible hard drive here to swap heads in. Even at that, I don't have a clean room to be able to do that. AEL. I'm going to figure out the auto exposure lock on this thing eventually. So we can do that. We also have some cat damage. So be it that we can't take and put the input heads in this because we don't have a compatible one. We're going to do the next best thing, which is shiny metal. I hate it. You know what? Go away, Sony. We'll go with that view. You do have a bit of a arm in the way. We'll go with that one. It doesn't jump around near as bad. I mean, it does, but not with the up and down exposure. Alright, so we need to get our solid state drive open. We're going to throw this in, get it installed going, and then we're going to go over to the cat damaged laptop. And after the install, we will hopefully drop this off. There shouldn't be a whole lot of data. As far as I can tell, but you never know. This person might be a photo fanatic, so let's go ahead. And get this opened up. Is an SSD necessary? No. But that's generally what goes in most computers these days. the best, I mean, is it the best option? No, but when people start moving their computers around or drive dies, can they die? Yeah, they can die. Don't fall under that illusion that, oh, we made it, this is new, it's not going to fail. Yeah, they can fail. It's not an end all be all. I got to keep an eye on my phone and on Skype. So let me pull that window up just to see if I get a message back. No, no message back yet. So we'll continue on like normal. And those are all the same size. You know what? I never even thought if that was a thing. Give me a moment here. We're gonna swing the Super Sony in and check on the video for it. Configure video. Does it have any type of settings? No, I didn't think it did. It's all in camera. All in camera where it is doing that. Well, we'll throw it over there for now. Like I said, it works and then it don't. Like I get it working and then it does something to where it just doesn't agree with me. And that's what I get for using a camera as a webcam. Stick to what we know, what we can break, right? What we can break while we work on it. Not a whole lot of room, but we'll get this in here and then get on over to our cat damage. That's going to be fun, ripping it apart. Should be an easy computer. And I think we can also possibly tell the story of how it got damaged. It was on something and the kitty got it. There, bump that down a little. And just whenever, try this sometime. Get in OBS, try broadcasting a stream. And when your audio goes completely bonkers, you'll be like, what? What happened? Why is it doing that? And whenever it starts flashing red, you're gonna be wondering, okay, so now we got to take a look at the hard drive. If I had the camera here, we could zoom it in. Actually, let me take a look at that quick. Let's go back to that. I think I'm going to give this a second try. Possibly, with the light on. And let's see how dark it gets. Because I don't think it'll be as bad yet. Okay, so part of it was my metering mode. So now we have some actual, not digital, but like we got analog zoom instead of getting the pixelated zoomed in webcam. Alright, so on this hard drive, it's gonna have, for the way it's set down in, it has a couple of these Torx screws, and then it also had two Phillips screws. The Torx ones actually stick out and they have like a flat edge to them, and how it fits in the desktop. We gotta replicate this here. Sorry about shiny metal, but the flat ones are going to sit down in here and slide back. There's little, you can see that little L-shaped channel there. They'll slide back, and then the round head ones, one will slide down here, the other one slides down and kind of latches in on this little dirty metal latch that we have on the front here. So we pull that out to let it slide in place, and then it'll pop back in, locking the drive down. Alright, so let's get this pulled back up again and move these over from our hard drive to our SSD, keeping note of where we need our SATA cables, and we'll move over the Phillips, and then move over the Torx. And I don't know, it should go in, but it may not. No, it's gonna pull the dummy move. Oh boy, if we gotta thread this, this is gonna be fun. What do you think? Not the same size head at all, so we're not going to try and use one for the other, but what we can do, what are we going to modify it by hand? Of course we will. I believe in it. I know we can do it. Let's find the drill and the bit that barely doesn't fit in that hole. And when we clean it out, the new one will thread in. I don't have the tap and die here today, so we're not doing any. Or yeah, I don't have that kit with me. So we're not going to get into doing any of that today. Wants to fit, but doesn't, just barely. Let's go see if we have a 30 seconds in our other kit. 30 seconds. Are you going to fit better or worse? See, 30 seconds fits through. We don't need it. We're going to jump up one drill bit size to 7/64. And we're going to test the middle hole, which we're not using on this thing. On this we need to use, of course you're going to get dark. For this we need to use each end to match up with where the hard drive, the screws mount in the hard drive. So we're going to drill out the middle one and see how hard it is to thread in a screw. Before we do that, just out of safety's sake, for our little SSD, and does drilling, can drilling cause static electricity? I don't know. So we're going to go ahead and take this out before we have to drill and modify our bracket. That we don't want any metal shavings going onto our SATA contacts, being stuck there, getting stuck in there somehow and not noticing it, and then it shorts something out. So yeah, let's take that apart. Brandon, where are you? Alright, solid state drive away. Let's drill out and test the center hole. Not that there's going to be a lot of shavings after that, but hey, safe over sorry. Is that a possibility? It's 2019. We can be safe, right? Alright, will steel thread on into steel? In some circumstances, yes. Alright, and I have a feeling if we take it up one more, well, one more will be too much. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it out. Just a little. Let's see if that gets us what we need. You know what? I think I was being dumb. I think the size we use is the one that will let these thread through with less effort. It is, but you know what we need for this mission? We need a tapered one. We're going to get one that's tapered. Yeah, I know, I'm carrying around an audio cable that isn't plugged in, but if I need to hear somebody talking, I can plug it in a second. I normally don't wear headphones to hear myself talk. If you do it wirelessly, there's a bit of a delay. And then also, this would not be wirelessly, but being that I have a wireless transmitter pack on to keep the mic that I'm using kind of, wireless. If I don't have headphones on, I can walk around freely. It likes to you still have a slight bit of latency. Okay, so there we have one threaded. That will thread through easily now. Now we should have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 holes to actually do. So let's drill these out. I don't like these. We're going to determine what screws you can and can't use. Options, people, options. If it's a 2.5 to 3.5 adapter, okay, 2.5 to 3.5, why are you going to give me 8? Why are you going to give me 8 of the 2.5 inch style screws? Give me 4 2.5 inch style hard drive mounting screws, and then leave these holes out here that take the actual 3.5 inch size screws that are pretty standard, I would say. Alright, Threadsville, we need to thread you a couple more times. Where's the tapered one? There it is. That is probably about the most improper way I can think of to thread something, is drill it out close and then run the screw in. But when you don't have the proper method for doing it, let me think about this. Do I? I do have a... No, that's a 1/4x20 tap. So, no, I don't have the one for desktop screws here. I did at one time for a project I was working on, but I don't now. Alright, 2 down, 2 to go. And I think we'll do the other one on the side, the other middle one, on the opposite side that we didn't do already. Just that way this thing is threaded for any future possibility. You know, say she gets another case, moves the drive over. Well, there we go. We don't have to worry about threading it later. This is the one that went through. Let's check it. Alright, it did. We need this side still. Now, depending on your material, like I said, if you're doing metal, what is that? What size was that thing? So 1/8 inch. If you're in metal, you can get a little bit of grip. It's not going to be like a full threaded hole. If you're in plastic or something softer, wood, I would say 7/64, and you'll easily be able to thread your normal motherboard size or 3.5 inch hard drive size screw in. Okay, we need 1 Phillips screw, wherever it is here. That's you. And why they use 2 Phillips and two Torx screws, no idea. But that's what they used, and that's what we're going with. That's what fits into the case. HP, you do some crazy stuff. I don't understand it half the time, but it is what it is. Restream, what are you doing to me? I have to go and get the channels to resync. There we go. Allegedly it couldn't get to the channels I'm trying to broadcast to, but hey. I guess cat damage isn't the super expected smash hit for the end of the summer, is it now? Alright, everything's threaded. Let's attempt to get some metal out of the way. We'll see how much we actually get. We did a whole ton of drilling. Enough. We got enough. Alright, now take 2 on installing this thing. All that just to get this hard drive sled to fit. Like the 3.5-inch drive would fit in there. But granted, it's an SSD. We could have just put it in there with some 3M double-sided tape, but what fun would that be? Come on now. What fun would that be if we're going to take that route with it? I want to stick it in there with any double-sided tape. Go for the stock factory mounting options. Don't be scared. And I'm fairly certain we won't be able to put the drive in if these are in there, but we'll try. Or maybe we will. Alright, there is... What am I doing wrong here? Alright, well, I don't believe you actually work like that. Hey, you're not going in. And I think this thing isn't up to the spec of a normal hard drive. Actually, the width of the sled. Would you leave one out? That would let it drop. We could do it that way, or we'll just go for something smaller. How about we do the thing that makes sense, that should have been done from the factory, instead of using a Phillips and a Torx screw on each side, and we just put 4 Torx that are all the same size. We do have more of them right here, so it's understandable. Like they fit, but they don't. Like one side starts to go down and the other side doesn't, and I'm saying that aside from forcing it, I'm saying this is made to a better standard than this one is. This is much more of a standard size than we could ever hope for out of, well, a piece of steel bent in who knows what factory and what country in the world. I'm putting my money on the hard drives. More standardized. If that's really the case, I give up. Does it fit? Does it fit? Will it fit? Alright, HP, I'm calling BS on your whole method right now. Because I don't think your average HP Combac standard Torx screw is going to come anywhere close to fitting. We shall see though. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to put this in backwards. and then attempt to remount it. I'm saying no, they don't fit. I'm calling it right now that we got something goofy going on. Or they do. Okay, I like it. That's an option. And it fits there. If that fits there, then why won't it fit here? All to make it a little bit of a factory fit. These are the dumb things you run into. You're like, man, did I really waste part of my time on that there? Okay, so we have that. I think maybe they all fit. I'm just that dumb that I can't get these to go in there. Ah, I see what it is right now. Alright, here's what it is. That standard size of making it fit like a desktop, it doesn't matter. We can put any screws we want in there, and they're not going to fit whatsoever. This distance compared to the distance on this one is different, so the screws end up hitting on one side. So to get around that, do these back screws a little bit to let it go back slightly further. And then once it goes past where it needs to be, perfect. We'll lock it down. Alright, so we had a slightly different length on the mounting holes. And that was all the trouble for our existence for the past however long. I'm not 30 minutes? Wow, yeah. Alright, that's locked down. It is locked in place there. Good to go. We can reassemble. Let's move that out of the way so that SATA cable don't get pinched or cut. And while we're here, we will plug in our optical drive, reassemble, and get the install going and move on. Little kitty, you damaged the computer, little kitty. Let's fix it. Alright, this is simple. Anybody that's ever touched one of these Slimlines, any of the models, Acer, Gateway, HP, I don't think Dell's work like this. Standard case. Put one side on and then rock it up and it actually just latches in place. Super simple. Everything looks good. We're going to get this hooked up and get our install going. Should we do it in OBS? I think we actually will try because there's something I want to do. I probably already talked about it, but in case I didn't, this will be a perfect chance to talk about it. So let's do it. Mouse, keyboard. We're going to skip the monitor. We'll keep our sound. And we're going to skip the internet for now. For a specific reason, and we need to get a monitor out to OBS. How are we going to do this? I think we are currently using my only adapter to do that on this desktop unless DVI and VGA are the two options on this table. We have two of those and none of what we need. No HDMI. But let's pretend for a moment that this is going to work. So you need goofy cables when you start converting over your adapter types. I'm literally ripping apart the KVM right now for the sake of this. Alright, we got it. Only worry now is, will it display in OBS? Let's find out. Not going to throw the brand name out there, but if you see a box like this, okay, that is the one that has the poor spacing on the edge, where the spacing on the edge of it down the side of it does not quite match up. It's a longer length. You know, it's got to be a millimeter or two difference, but it's enough to throw it off when you're sliding hard drive in, where it's a slide mechanism instead of a through hole type thing. Yeah, it's enough to throw it off. All right. Let's bring up the, do I have repair? There's the other repair. So you have something to look at for a moment while we get the installer plugged in. Let's try it. Actually, we'll go with a back USB port. The fronts are awesome when they work. They don't always work, so let's see. Oh, look at that lovely conversion in OBS, and it froze up. Oh, it looks horrible. It looks so bad. So bad. Well, hey, we'll go with it, and maybe that'll clear it up. It looks like, oh yeah, it can't be frozen. It's doing a thing, right? Yeah, there it goes, doing a thing. Okay. There we have English. Alright, let's move on with this. Let's see how quick we can get this to the point of what I was talking about with the no, and I'm probably clicking all kind of stuff right now. Alright, we don't want you, we want the actual USB mouse that's plugged in here. Where are you? Alright, let's get over here now. Not that it's important, we'll swing it out of the way. Alright, on screen, standard setup. We're going to go in, hopefully the BIOS saw the hard drive. Click install now. Actually, let me plug the internet in just to see. see if it does it, and if it does, then we'll undo it. So right now, we're gonna say I don't have a product key. To get past that, in reality, we do. It is here, but I'm going to enter it later, and being that her computer has already had Windows 10 on it, registered with the 7 key, it should activate on its own once we get it installed. And it is a Home Premium key, so we're going to pick Windows 10 Home. That's essentially the same thing. With the Ethernet cable plugged in, if it recognizes the driver, this is where we may run into an issue. Accept the terms. Next. Oh, you people, you fell off like flies. Alright, that install's going. We will check back in on it. For now, we're going to pull back up our Sony cam. That looks horrible today. What was I thinking? Alright, time for the cat damage. So let's take a look here. This is a Lenovo laptop. This is what? A Z50-75. Let's take a look here. If it will focus on that close. That is one of those goofy square DC jacks. They look kind of like this, and they have a little square inside them. That's what used to be in there. You can probably see some little metal bits sticking out that, yeah. So I guess this was up on something. Not super stable. And the little kitty jumped on it and took it down. So, yeah. Little cat took it out. We're going to go get the little trusty black mat from over here. One of them anyways. Let's check in real quick, no camera, but with our install. Yeah, not long. 60, 79. And hopefully we get to that point that I brought up. I want to see if it's going to work, because I have the Ethernet plugged in now. And as far as I know, oh, that's right, I remember now. Somebody else had this, and there's no screws in it. The screws are, take your pick, we don't know, somewhere else. They're not here. They're sure not here. Somebody else was going to work on it. Do you see that? Look, it looks horrible. Is it the light? Let's turn the light off. You loser. Can't even get decent video. That's just what happens with certain textures. You get a goofy pattern, and it's a kit lens, so you gotta forgive it a little bit. Just a little bit. Is that the way that lets the battery come out, or is it this way? Let's go ahead through. Dirty, dirty fan. I mean, that gets rid of it a little bit. I guess we'll stay zoomed in. We'll just have to move it around slightly. So some of the screws are missing from this thing, if not all. So this should be a fairly simple teardown. We have one screw here. We have one holding the optical drive in, and then another one holding the keyboard in. This isn't an extremely old laptop. I just don't know what yet. Let's check the repair. Alright, it seems like it's booting up again. If it is, we'll pull our USB and let it get to its little desktop thing. So just because somebody else started tearing this apart doesn't mean I'm going to trust it. I'm going to look around for screws. We do have a few holding the hard drive in, as well as the optical drive. 1, 2, 3, 4, and we should have, what, 3 or 4 in the hard drive as well. I gotta wonder for live streaming and such, or could it, I wish somebody knew, I wish somebody was out there, or somebody, I knew somebody that could actually answer the question of what will a better lens get rid of all that color fringing in that? Like, I think it will. Is it possible to correct it in OBS with like a LUT, using some type of color correction or LUT? I don't know. I'm not a pro film or broadcast guy, but I would love an answer to that question. Let's check our repair again. I don't know. It seems like it might have been trying to boot to the USB again. We're going to let it go for a minute there. Let's flip this. Okay, so he did miss another screw here. This location right there beside the RAM. We'll pull it out, add it to the growing pile of missed screws. But overall, though, pretty good job on removing the screws. Definitely workable. Alright. Does the keyboard pop out? And it seems as though it does. Let's attempt. Get in there. It really feels like there's still one screw somewhere holding it in. And I don't believe there is, as far as I can tell, unless it's just being held. It's like being held right dead center in the keyboard, and there's nothing. The Wi-Fi screw, which certainly wouldn't hold that in. Let's give a little tug on it again. Seems like right there. So let's try and find that spot. Right there. Possibly, is there a screw? Does this bottom snap off? I don't think so. I think we need the keyboard up. Let's take a look down this thing with the monitor, see if we can see what. Not that side, we're not going to see it. Let's check on this side. You know what? There is. Just look at it. He overlooked it, and I completely overlooked it too, because of saying that there was screws out. Look at that. Anybody should see it in a second. Let's zoom in. What do we see there? So it was under the sticker. keyboard just fell out on its own. Okay, so good job on somebody that doesn't do this and somebody that does do this type of stuff. Missing the screw. At least we didn't flex the keyboard bad. Maybe that's why it gave up. Why it made it here, because of not able to find that hidden screw under the sticker. I've done that. I've ruined my own personal computer before, like having a screw that was just that hidden, and like yeah, simply that hidden. And I didn't end up finding it. Let's do that and that. And we can't get our computer quite turned. Oh well. We'll bring it back. We'll just keep swinging it back and forth till we break all the wires. Alright, so none through the top. Even though the keyboard was on, we just have a couple ribbon cables come out. Oh yeah, I broke one of my personal computers before, dealing with a screw that I'd missed under a sticker. Seems like we can do that one later. Let's get this apart. Oh yeah, a repair. Well, I'm gonna say there's something is not mathing up right there. So let's power down. We'll power back on and see if it's going to boot into Windows. I'm going to say it was trying to boot the USB again. The install had finished and the reboot made it through. There we go. That looks better, but I can't promise that that is working. We'll see though. And I'm actually going to plug in. I've always wanted to know on my stream, when a computer's plugged in, do you get Cortana talking to you? So I guess I got to listen to myself in my headphones for a bit. Oh, you nightmare computer. Come apart already. What are we going to do? We're going to gamble. You just broke my tool. Thanks. Alright, so the top is lifting off. Maybe? Yep. And one other thing that was missed. Let's go ahead and flip back here. Okay, we got a Windows 10 logo. Is the newest version of Windows not ready for the computer we're putting on to? We'll find that out. Something that was missed, the fan. One is mounted to the body, or the bottom case, whatever, call it something, body, frame, housing. That's loose, 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 all the way around. only question right here. Is there screws under those feet? Let's find out. No. Alright, not that one. I can live with that. Definitely not that one. So let's continue snapping it apart. Alright, finally. Well, we gotta go further. We got a DC jack. To remove daughterboard cable, optical drive, get out of the way. Speaker, go away. How many of these do we have to deal with? 1, 2. Okay. Nope, I'm calling BS. We don't have to go that far. Let's look at it. Alright, going into this. Boy, Sony camera, I'm really starting to hate you. You're dark and gloomy. Useless. We got our DC jack plugs in under the logic board here. You can kind of see it sticking out, runs over to here. Very simple. We can replace that. Oh, wow. Wow. That was, that DC jack got shredded. Alright, let's compare the two and see what's happening. What's what? So we still have our metal housing. We've got our metal housing surrounding it. That's good. We've got our plastic top. Metal only goes around 3 sides. This one, some of the pins actually got ripped out the back. That one there. The top was broken, and then the inside got absolutely mangled. Little cat, you did a lot of damage. I mean, compare the two. That's what you're looking at, the same exact thing. I promise you that's the same thing right there. Just one's missing some stuff. It's missing the innards. Yay. Where'd you go? There you go. Alright, the new set in there look good. Oh, there goes the mic. And our focus got crazy. Now let's see what we can figure out with plugging this in. Alright, good to go. Let's reassemble this, check on our repair. Are we still frozen? It appears as though we are. So I'm going to say, Windows. Windows 10 is either A, this version isn't compatible, so what we're going to do is attempt one of the other installers that we have that is an earlier version. I would be inclined to let it go for a bit, but it shouldn't be sitting there like that. Not at all. Especially being in this, unless there's another problem with the system, which I don't believe so. The hard drive was the only thing that failed on that system. So we will get back to that momentarily. I think we're going to skip the iPad for today. Maybe tonight. Who knows? Alright, there's one, two. Absolutely no screws in the top, just the underside. Keyboard. Alright, hard drive. Two of these go to... I don't like it when, I mean, if somebody else wants to tear it down, by all means, tear your computer down, bring it in. Be responsible for that aspect of it. Don't, what do I want to say? Don't have to it. Or full do it, whichever, you know. Just don't have to it. Don't sabotage it. Do we have screws? Or nope, see, here's an example. Remember, we tore a fan apart not too long ago. Well, we've torn a few apart. But this one, I would not trust that there is enough plastic there afterwards to remelt. Even though it is sticking up quite a bit, once we pull up on that, it's going to break those and you'll just have little tiny skinny pieces left, not enough to melt. So we're going to clean it out as best we can with a brush, and then probably the air compressor. We can put that in last for now. Okay, we have 3 for the fan, 3 for the hard drive, and 2 more for the case. Give this thing back. Those are for the fan. Let's go for the ones for the drive, even though they're all the same, I think. And do we have one of these here? That's my big question. I don't know. I don't know if we have a rectangle Lenovo adapter. I'll check though, real quick, to see if we can do anything with it. So we have 2 more random ones for the case. I'm putting them here and here on the hinge side, just because that is the weakest link on most laptop cases. It's usually, if they're going to break, that's where it's going to be. And I don't even think those are long enough to reach through. So let's say we go here, beside the RAM, and where was that other one? I'm not going to run the video back and check. Optical drive. We know there was one there. Let's put it there. Three for the fan, and we're done. Let's see if we have the adapter for the Lenovo. I don't believe we do. I don't think we have a universal that still have a universal left that has one of those. That's a Dell. Another goofy one. That's an old one, and even older. Yeah, useless. Almost certain we don't have the Lenovo one. Well, she'll have to bring her computer in for us to test this thing to make sure that it charges fine, or she can just come pick it up. For now, I think we'll repair. What's your deal? Are you just not? You not liking life, or what's the deal over here? You know what? Shut it down. I think I might kind of sort of see a problem. We'll go to the bird's eye. The RAM was in, but not in. It was, what is that? 4 gigs of DDR3. Is Windows having a hard time? Or not a hard time? That's the big question here. One of those may match. And if not, it can't be helped. What are our timings? 910 BO. Do we have a 910 BO? And that's a big fat negative. Although it should boot with the 4 gigs in, we're going to try this and see what happens. Run some different RAM in with the system RAM, give it a little more than 4, which doesn't make sense because I've seen computers boot with 2 gigs and it's not fun, but it's possible. Do we redo the setup? I don't know at this point. But let's see. I'm going to stand here and kind of like pay attention to the Windows boot screen there. Did something change? Did it change its mind? Is it not hating life as much now? Did the RAM help? Alright, I get my question answered. We are plugged in to audio, but we're plugged into KVM audio, sadly. Not OBS. Sometimes that's all you can do whenever we will hit it with air compressor. We also need to get the heatsink here. Done. And this was here strictly for a DC jack, but we're not going to let it go. With a clogged fan, clogged heatsink go unnoticed. Alright, so where are we? No, we are in Australia? No, kidding. United States. US, yes. Skip. And now I think the internet is recognized. Oh, Microsoft, you got some important setup to do. Alright, so there it is. There it is. Sorry, I gotta turn off me for one moment. Alright, you can see there that it wants an account right now. It wants an account during Windows setup, so either email, phone, or Skype, or you can create an account. So let's try, I want to do an offline account right now. Wrong screen. Okay, so let's create an account. Use the phone number instead. Get a new email address, or if we have a Microsoft one, we can try and put something in, some like a Gmail. It may take it upon setup. But say you don't want the online account. Let's hit back. Privacy and cookies. We get a window. We can go back. Terms of use. We get another window. We can go back. Learn more. And they tell you if you want an offline account, or if you prefer not to have a Microsoft account associated with your device, you can remove it, finish going through the Windows setup, then select the Start button, go to Settings, Account, Your Info, and select Sign In with a local account instead. But what if we just want to set up the local account right here, right now? If you're on a laptop, hit your airplane mode or Wi-Fi key, or on a desktop, take and unplug or disconnect from the Wi-Fi. And let's hit our back button. And right now, this is great. It doesn't want to know an email. It just wants to know the name. As soon as you put it in airplane mode or take it off of Wi-Fi, take it off of literally anything, it's good to go. I didn't always know that. And it got to be a nuisance at some points, taking and putting emails in and wiping them back out. Sorry, I have to take a moment. I'm going to make sure everything's lined up where it needs to be. And then I need to type. Alright, we'll go here. Next screen should be a password. What is her password? Exactly what I thought it was. So let's go back here. We're going to the password. I guess I could just not show you. Is that? But if I don't show you, then that disappears for me too. So that makes no sense. We're going to switch here. Do it like this. Repeat it, right? Confirm. Oh. No. Are you creating me an online account? We already did this, but we do it again. We'll do the questions. Oh, that's an easy one. It's an easy one. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Is this great content? Is this what you signed up for? Why, certainly. And bang, there's our local account. That's how you do a local account without having to do the email and then sign in and then remove it. Just disconnect from Wi-Fi, put your computer in airplane mode, disconnect the Ethernet cable if it's a desktop or a laptop with a cable plugged in. There you have it. That should get you through the setup. Or you could, sign in and just log out later and use local count instead. There is that option. Anyhow, they're getting everything ready for us, so I say it's good to go. I'm going to clean up these few things here. We have our sketchy Lenovo back together. We don't have a power supply for it though, so it's in the state it needs to be in for right now. So we'll fill out the ticket on it, and I don't think we need to do anything else to it, do we? Oh, we do, but sadly we need a way to turn this thing on, and that's not going to happen to do the other work to it, so we got to get a cord for it. Looks good. Anyhow, have a good evening, a good morning, good afternoon, wherever you are. Certainly, it is one of those. If you're into doing this stuff, you know, this what we mess with from time to time here. Get it out there, spread it, share it. Show somebody how to do it. If they need it done, give them a hand. It's not going anywhere. It's technology. Anyhow, thanks for clicking that link coming over. I appreciate it. Each and every one that ever watches even a minute of one of my videos. Thank you, and I will see you tomorrow.